And the first one up, let's talk about Hard Knocks, episode 2, last night. A solid episode. Was it great? No. Was it good? Yeah, solid. Was it as good as episode number 1? No. And there was a couple of things to take away, so let's just kind of read our notes and see what we saw yesterday. Like I said, obviously not as good as episode number 1 and not a lot of stuff to kind of go over, but there are still some nuggets that we can talk about. So let's talk about the first thing up here. Mike McCarthy's speeches, his kind of, locker room speeches, his classroom speeches, getting everybody hyped up, buying into the team, and, just kind of, making it known that, like, I'm the guy, I'm the head coach, like, I'm here to set the tone for the overall team. The message, this is what the message is I want to send out to y'all, to have y'all sinking your teeth big into this team, everybody buying in. So, if you go on Twitter and stuff, a lot of people don't like Mike McCarthy's speeches, or like it's not getting excitement from all the players. Nobody's really buying into these speeches, and these speeches aren't great. I don't think these are wow. I mean, he's truly blowing me away, and this is what we're kind of saying of Mike McCarthy. He's just like an average coach. I don't see anything special about the man. I don't think he's a bad head coach. I don't think he's a great head coach. I think he's mediocre. I think there's nothing special about him. Like we say, he underwhelmed there in Green Bay in just the amount of championships when you have, Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. So a little underperforming there, but I'm going to kind of, come to his defense a little bit. I mean, these are just classroom speeches, folks. This is not a movie. This is not movie. This is real life. I mean, have you ever been in a classroom, folks? I mean, you don't get everyone banging on the tables when the teacher or the coach is talking. You don't get everybody clapping, yeah, truly buying in. Everyone's just kind of laying back, sitting back in their seats. They're taking in the message because, it's somebody talking to you. It's somebody kind of, talking not down to you, but it's somebody talking at you. And it's not like, the movie Rudy or any of these other classic football movies where, everything's real intense and the coach is up there giving his speech and everyone's got their head down and they're kind of bobbing. And then you get the quarterback that starts like banging on the table like, coach is truly getting us fired up by his words here in this kind of classroom setting, and everyone starts banging on the tables because the quarterback is banging, and everyone rises to their feet and starts fist pumping and going, everyone buying. This is real life, folks. I mean, like I said, have you ever been in a classroom setting, folks? Nobody gets hyped. Nobody gets like, oh my God, truly engaged by a teacher or a coach, lecturing or trying to, do a speech or something like that. It's just everyone's kind of internalizing it. They're taking away the message. And this is why I have no problem with Mike McCarthy's kind of speeches. I mean, what are y'all expecting to see? Are you expecting all the players to really just truly like engaging and like locking laser focus in the head coach's eyes? That's nothing. That never happens. I mean, you can go to the best coaches in the NFL, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton, these great coaches, and we can get a look inside their kind of classroom setting with their speeches, and it's the same kind of, the players all do the same thing. They sit there, they internalize it, they are listening, hopefully, but it's not like, what are you expecting? So I'm not knocking Mike McCarthy on his speeches. It's hard to get guys, kind of truly buying in, and I'm not gonna, pick apart all of his speeches. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they're great, but I don't think they're bad either. They're just kind of average coach speeches, stuff that you say that you kind of have to say to get everybody to buy into your football team. So, I've got no problem with these Mike McCarthy speeches. So just average-ish. He's average, folks, but I'm not going to knock him and be like, oh, he's a trash coach. And I mean, do you see the players? I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, but there are some, professional sports analysts that were kind of clowning Mike McCarthy for not having his players buying into his speech. What does that look like? What does the players buying into this man's speeches look like? It's not the movies. Banging on the tables, everyone saying, hoorah, let's go get it done. That's the locker room speeches where everyone's kind of, putting their hands in, Cowboys on 3, 1, 2, 3, Cowboys. That's everyone, that gets hyped. But in a classroom setting, this is not movies, folks. This is not the movies. This is real life. So, got no problem with Mike McCarthy's speeches. They could definitely be better, but they also could be a little bit worse. So that's Mike McCarthy. Also, what I liked about Mike McCarthy is, so they showed Ben DiNucci throwing that interception in the preseason game. number one. They kind of went back to that. But Ben DiNucci throws an interception, and Mike McCarthy comes to him on the sideline and kind of coaches him up a little bit. Doesn't ignore him, doesn't do anything like that. And even though Ben DiNucci has 0% chance to be the starter here, Mike McCarthy is still kind of taking the time and being like, hey, let it loose, slow down the game, start slinging it around. You've got this, no worries, go get it next time. So that's what I liked about Mike McCarthy there. That he's truly, it's not okay. Well, Zach's the quarterback. I'm not even going to pay attention to these other guys. He's truly getting in there and trying to coach them up as best as he can. Hey, shake off that interception. No big deal. Slow down the game. You got this. Let's go. So for that, I did kind of like what I saw by Mike McCarthy right there. Now let's talk about Dak Prescott. Dak, still being a leader, folks. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Dak every single minute of Hard Knocks. I'm like, they're going to like CeeDee Lamb and one of the defensive coaches about his accent and all that. I'm like, no, give me more Dak. I just want to focus Dak. I want the entire episode to be on Dak, his leadership, his mentality, all that, because it's truly infectious, folks. I mean, he's a great leader on the field. And, when we're kind of just talking about overall leadership on this team, I'm putting Dak over Mike McCarthy, and one's the head coach and one's the quarterback. So, wild that we're doing that. But I'm loving the energy Dak brings to this team. Dak knows he's obviously the starter, but he doesn't let that affect him. He doesn't kind of, have a big ego or anything. He's training up the other quarterbacks as well. Ben DiNucci didn't have any swag. I mean, he's just out there in shorts and the shirt, classic attire. And, one of the quarterback coaches was like, Dak, you gotta get this man some swag. So Dak, talks to Ben DiNucci, and then Ben DiNucci ends up wearing a hoodie like Dak does in practice. But just taking that leadership role on, it's infectious. Even though he's still unable to throw, he's out there in practice still coaching up the guys, getting everybody hype when there's a great ball thrown, when there's a great ball caught. He's right there, the first guy to congratulate and pump those teammates up. That's what I'm loving from Dak, and truly that's why you have to pay the man. That's why I'm glad he got the contract that he did, because yes, you do need to kind of put out the stats and you have to still be good at throwing the football, but you also have to be a great leader, and it's infectious, and it's freaking shattering the screen, folks. It's coming so much through the camera and all this that it's just shattering everything. So I'm loving Dak, man. I mean, I liked Dak coming into Hard Knocks, but I mean, I'm buying in 100% into this man now. So Dak's leadership, I mean, geez Louise, folks, it's absolutely top notch, and for that we give him credit. Especially, he could just be, sitting back, not doing anything, not cheering any of the other quarterbacks on, because why would I? I'm the starter. Kind of in Brett Favre-esque type of mode. Why am I going to coach up these guys when they could potentially take my spot or something like that, like they're going to be my predecessor or my successor or something like that? No, Dak's up there. He wants the best thing for the team, and if the backups are playing good, that's going to make the starters play better. If the backups are playing good, that's going to make the backups play good, which makes the starters play even better. And if the starters play at their top, then that means Super Bowl aspirations, expectations, and potentially getting to the big game. So I can't say enough great things about Dak Prescott, folks. I mean, it's just fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. And I can't wait till episode number 3, but you better, Hard Knocks, just edit it out so it's only Dak. I only want to see Dak in episode number 3. Yes, the stories of, who was the guy? Kamara, coming from, I forgot what country, I apologize. But coming over here and getting it done, and he was looking pretty good in that preseason game. You give him some credit, had a strip sack. Unfortunately, that was called back because of an offsides penalty by the offense, not by him. But he was looking real solid out there, and that's a good story, but it's like, okay, let me get back to Dak, please. Maybe I'll allow y'all one segment where you can talk about something else. I don't want to see the defensive coach with the accent everybody making fun of, and and the player from another country. You could choose one, but everything else should just be Dak out there on the screen. I got to see more. Dak was kind of throwing, so this was the episode where he was still, not throwing, but then he ended up getting cleared to throw for light practice, light throwing, because of the shoulder injury. So once again, this shoulder injury is truly bunk now. I mean, this is not something that we should keep bringing up. This is a narrative that truly should be... I'm going to give it the rest of this week, just because he is kind of light practice, light throwing currently. But really, I mean, at the end of this week, by the time episode 3 airs of Hard Knocks, we need to be completely over and done with that this shoulder injury is a big narrative. We thought it was a big narrative when it first happened, getting a second MRI. We were like, what's going on? But truly, this is nothing. Dak's looking fine. He's still throwing fine. He's looking good out there. This does not seem like it's going to hinder him in the regular season. So at the end of this week, we're done with the narrative that Dak's injured. He's fine. The ankle's 100% good. The shoulder should be 100% good by the end of this week. And we're looking on to, preseason game number 3, really where Dak Prescott probably won't play anyway, even if he is 100% healthy. And we're on to week 1, full strength, full healthy Dak Prescott. So he was throwing well. Even the quarterback coach was like, God damn, he was on point here. Gosh damn, this man's actually fantastic. They know he is, but they're like, all right, the injury may be holding him a little bit back, maybe kind of a little bit of setback in throwing, but quarterback coach was like, sheesh, literally. So Dak Prescott's looking all good out there, and the coaches are loving what they're seeing from him, and the leadership from Dak. Jeez Louise, fantastic. Alrighty, what else do we see in this episode? We got CeeDee Lamb. I mean, man, oh man, this man's coming into his second season. We are big time on CeeDee Lamb. We are projecting that he will be the best wide receiver in the league by the time this season's over. Right now, that poll, the most recent poll of the coaches and the staff and the players, all had Davante Adams kind of ranked number 1 wide receiver in the league right now. And we think CeeDee Lamb's going to get that crown because he's just absolutely looking magnificent in training camp. These plays, I mean, we see these plays here. This is why, why I have the backdrop here as we're talking about this. Just CeeDee Lamb highlights here. Looking absolutely spectacular. And the best thing about CeeDee Lamb, he says, hey, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still hungry for more, even though that he's balling out here in training camp. And we know it's training camp, in training camp and game scenarios are different. I get it. But CeeDee Lamb was fantastic last season. He's probably having, do I dare say, the best camp of a wide receiver? Who else is having as good of a camp at the wide receiver position than CeeDee Lamb? I can't name one at the top of my head. I think we've talked about more about CeeDee Lamb than any other player, let alone wide receiver, this entire offseason, because it's highlight after highlight after highlight, getting that great separation. And the best thing about it is he's going to be kind of the number 2 wide receiver because they still have Amari Cooper. Maybe CeeDee Lamb becomes the number 1 wide receiver, but still, you're going to have 2 great options out there. So CeeDee Lamb trying to, should be able to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities throughout the entire season. And once again, he is shining bright here on one-on-one situations, going up and getting the ball fearless. One-handed catches in the corner of the end zone. Bingo, bango, the man will go up and catch anything. And once again, his personality is fantastic. I'm loving his kind of overall mentality of the game, being like, yeah, I'm playing real good, but I'm still hungry and I still want to go out and do more, and I can't wait to get out there week 1 for the official game and still get it done. So CeeDee Lamb's looking great. His personality is shining bright through the camera as well. He had a little bit of a short segment here, and I can't see why you can't love this man, why you shouldn't be rooting for this man. He's looking fantastic, and he's just a great personality as well. So everything is coming together here for CeeDee Lamb, and we said it, I don't know when we said it, 2 weeks ago on the show, that CeeDee Lamb will become the number 1 wide receiver in the league, and that's kind of saying a lot because we highly regard Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, in our opinion, is the best wide receiver in the league, but we can't not buy into this man. We can. So we're looking at CeeDee Lamb, folks, this season, and we'll see if he becomes that number 1 wide receiver like we think he does. Right, and then the last thing to talk about, we kind of hinted at this when we watched the preseason game against the Cardinals, breaking that down a couple of days ago on the show. But Micah Parsons, man, oh man, that man is always around the ball, always trying to get back into the game. We saw that in Hard Knocks episode number 1. You know, Dan Quinn calls down and was like, hey man, you did fantastic. Unfortunately, you know, you only played like a series or two. You know, your day's done. And Micah Parsons was like, nah, I want to get back in there, and trying and pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to get back on the field. Unsuccessful. And we kind of saw the same thing episode 2. Didn't play, you know, played decently. He played great, but just kind of didn't play that many, you know, series. And once again, he was like, man, y'all told me, and we couldn't get the full thing, so I'm assuming he was like, y'all told me if I was playing good, you know, I could stay out there. We didn't see how that kind of conversation finished. He ended up going back out there in the next series, but he's always wanting to be out there, and hey, he's a first-round pick, I believe first-round pick in this year's draft, looking absolutely fantastic, and once again, he forced a fumble this preseason. So he recovered a fumble preseason game number 1 for the Cowboys, and he was kind of a part of forcing a fumble in the preseason game number 2. So this man is just a natural ball hawk. Obviously, you have to be in the right position at the right time, but he makes the most out of those opportunities. You don't get that many opportunities to make a big play, and if, you know, you're in the right position for the stars aligned, the play call, whatever it was, you know, your defensive play call matched up with what the offense was running perfectly, and you're right there to make the play on the ball, he is going to make a play on the ball. So Micah Parsons is going to be a problem here for NFL offenses. And Micah Parsons is truly going to be the main leader defensively for this Cowboys team? Is he already the best Cowboys defender that they have, even though he is a rookie? So Micah Parsons is looking like a problem out here. Once again, always around the ball, a true ball hawk, and he's forcing those turnovers. I mean, that's the biggest key on defense, forcing a turnover, quick switches of the possessions from offense to defense to offense for Dak, the fantastic thrower and leader that he is, to hit CeeDee Lamb on kind of on the first offensive play after that, you know, interception or fumble recovery, whatever it is, the turnover. So, I mean, we're looking at cashing in 7 points. We're looking to cash in those big strikes after Micah Parsons forces those turnovers. So, defense translates to offense, and we could be seeing that a lot this season if Micah Parsons continues to get better every single day, every single week, every single game. And this Cowboys defense, we don't think it's going to be great, but if Micah Parsons has anything to say about it, this is going to be the best defense in the NFL. So, man, oh man, Micah Parsons looking absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see what he does in preseason game number 3. I mean, what's next for this man? 2 fumbles, an interception, a big old quarterback sack. I mean, geez, look out for that big play highlight, because he's made one in every single game, and he's only playing like 4 series max, folks. He's not like, you know, it's taking him to like the last play of the 4th quarter for him to finally get the big play. No, folks, it's all coming in like the 1st quarter. So just Micah Parsons, folks, he is going to be a big old problem this season, and I cannot wait to watch this man. So those were the big takeaways from episode number 2. Hoping episode number 3 is a little bit better than episode number 2. This is still great. I'm not knocking, you know, Hard Knocks, and I'm not saying this is a bad show. I'm just saying compared to episode number 1, it was a little lackluster, but we're still getting great insight. And that's what's so great about Hard Knocks. It's not just all about, you know, the main guys, Dak and CeeDee Lamb and Zeke. They have a lot of time on the show, granted, because, you know, they're the superstars of the team, but they're still going to, you know, the rookie Micah Parsons. They're still going to that Kamara man and, you know, following his family and all that. So it is still good entertainment, and it is still a great insight of truly what it takes to make an NFL team and to be just in an NFL team in general, not being the main man, you know, being one of the lower people on the team fighting for a chance to make that final 53-man roster. So I still like the show, folks. I'm not knocking the show. It's just Dak, man. I got to see more. I got to see Hard Knocks like 2.0, where there's 2 episodes every week. One's the main show, and then the other one's just an hour of Dak. I got to see an hour of Dak every day, folks. So HBO, get on that. Hard Knocks, get on that. We got HBO Max. You can put whatever content. We're not restricted by time slots and all that. Just throw it up there right now. Who cares? And a 1 hour unedited video clip of all Dak Prescott. Give me all the Dak Prescott film. I'll pay for it. let me know where to send my check to, where to send my money to. I will buy all of the unseen Dak Prescott footage that Hard Knocks has acquired over the last couple of weeks. So I'll be in touch, HBO. I will be in touch. So that was HBO Hard Knocks from last night. Great episode. Go out and watch it. Always great to see behind the scenes of football because, you know, we sink months in years. I mean, we spent the entire year talking about football, folks. I mean, there was not a day on the show that we did not talk about NFL football and, you know, getting the behind the scenes look and truly what goes on and what makes teams and players and coaches and all that. It's great, folks. So shout out to Hard Knocks. Obviously great like usual.